Welcome to Nanny Knowledge with Miss Jen. Thanks for joining. Welcome, mommies, daddies, nannies, and grannies, or anyone just looking for information about all things baby. As I always say, if there's anything I didn't cover in this video today, please leave your comments down below. I'm always open to your suggestions, comments, and input. In this video, we're going to be talking about baby bath time rituals and routines. For over 39 years, I've been caring for other people's babies. One of my job responsibilities is making sure that the baby is nice and fresh and clean. As a nanny and a child caregiver, you can imagine how many baby baths I've given through the years. Hundreds. Seriously, probably at least 100,000. 100,000 million. I have given a lot of babies a lot of baths. Lots and lots of baths, y'all. As a nanny, part of my job is to give a baby a bath every once in a while. Sometimes it's every day. Every other day is sometimes enough, depending on how old the baby is. If it's a newborn, you don't have to bathe daily. Newborn babies aren't getting too dirty. Unless they're having blowouts in their diapers or lots of spit ups, normally a newborn baby is pretty clean. When you bring that newborn baby home from the hospital, you don't necessarily need to think about bathing it right away because they've already probably been cleaned up pretty well in the maternity ward when you had them at the hospital. You don't want to bathe your newborn too frequently because it does tend to dry out their skin. You don't even necessarily need to use baby shampoos or bath soaps right away because newborn baby's skin is very delicate and it doesn't need a lot of soap or shampoo. As a nanny, I recommend getting one of those small baby bathtubs, a little bathing tub that you can use that has a little hammock in it or maybe a cushion or a pad in it so that you can lay your newborn down in there and be comfortable. The level of the water doesn't need to be too deep. It's just there for you to splash and sprinkle on with a washcloth. You don't need to have that baby completely submerged underwater, just enough to get them wet. Sprinkle some soap or some warm water if you're not using soap, and just kind of rinse their hair and scalp so that they don't get cradle cap. Make sure before you start that bath time routine, you have all of your supplies and all the baby's things right there nearby. Make sure you set up your workstation. Have your towels, your brushes, your soaps, your change of clothes, your diapers, your wipers, everything that you need so that you don't have to leave that bathroom scene or that countertop scene wherever you're bathing your baby to go get extra things and supplies. When setting up your bath time station, if you can afford the space, it's always nice to have a little drawer specifically for all your bath time items. Put your towels in there, a couple of washcloths, your gels and shampoos, your brushes and combs. I even like to have a stack of diapers in there and some wipes, cotton swabs for cleaning baby's ears, so that everything you need for bath time is right there within reach. Be careful, first-time mommies. Those wet little newborns can be very slippery in the bathtub. Just make sure you have both hands free so that they can both be available to hold that baby carefully and make sure to support their head and neck. Be sure to check the temperature of that water. You don't want it to be too hot or too cold. Nowadays, they have cute little thermometers, little rubber duckies, things that have a temperature gauge on the bottom that will tell you if the water is too hot or too cold. I tend to use the old style technique and stick my elbow down in the water. That's how the nurses do it in the hospitals. They just stick their elbow in the water to see if it's too hot or too cold. When I'm bathing a newborn, I like to have it waist high so that I don't have to bend over too far to reach. It's easier to do everything right at this level so that you're not on your knees in a bathtub trying to bathe a slippery newborn. Once your sweet little angel has outgrown that baby bathtub, don't be afraid to start using the regular bathtub for baby bath time. They have cute little inserts and cushions and little tubs that you can actually put inside the big regular bathtub to bathe your newborn. When your sweet little angel is no longer a newborn and they've outgrown that newborn baby bathtub, that's when it's time to move them into the big bathtub. Using your regular bathroom bathtub is the easiest way to give a toddler a bath. Through the years, I used to give baths to babies and get on my knees on a towel, roll up a towel for my knees, and just be down on their level so that I can be close by to rinse, wash, make sure they don't get soap or bubbles in their eyes, and to make sure that they're not falling over. But I kind of learned through the years that all that bending over can really be hard on your back. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll roll up a towel and set it on the edge of the tub and literally just turn in and face that baby so that I can be hands-on, so that I can bend down and be right there with them. If you have a slider glass door on your shower, it might be more of a challenge to do this. You can still lay a thick, cushy towel on that track and sit on that towel so that you can face inward and be close to your baby so that they don't slip or fall or bump their head or swallow the water or eat the bubbles or eat the soap. I have just found that through the years, it's easier for me to not have to bend over while being on my knees, but rather sitting upright. I just like to be able to be right front and center so that I can reach that baby in case they fall or topple over or swallow some water. It's also easier to reach for shampooing and washing and getting a thorough cleaning with that washcloth. I always try to have that bathroom scene set up before I bring baby in for bath time. Make sure that you have your station set up with shampoos, lotions, soaps, diaper rash creams, diapers, wipers, a change of clothes. I like to have hairbrushes and combs right there at the ready. I just find it easier to do the dressing and bathing all in one room rather than carrying a wet, wiggly, naked baby from one room to the other or from the bath to the bedroom and try to get them changed on their dressing table. I like to just do it right there on the floor, right outside of the bathtub so that you're not carrying a wet, squirmy baby around with the possibility of maybe squirming out of your arms and slipping and dropping your baby. Make sure you have 2 or 3 towels, some dry face cloths, one for their face, one for their body. Or if you like to start with the face and head and work your way down to the dirtier parts, that's fine if you want to use one washcloth for that. Rubber duckies and toys, nothing too small that can go into their mouth. I always have a change of diaper and wipers there, and I always try to bring a plastic grocery bag or a trash bag or something to dispose of diapers, especially if they've had a poo-poo diaper. You want to really make sure you clean up that baby after a poopy diaper before you put them in that bath water. A little tip might be, if you know your baby's potty schedule, specifically their BM schedule, if you know when the poop's coming, then maybe you could plan bath time after they've had their poo. Nothing better than having a fresh hiney after you've had your poo out of the way and you get a fresh bath and then you're clean and fresh for the rest of the day. Even though during diaper changes you're going to do a thorough job of cleaning that hiney with baby wipes, there's nothing fresher than a baby right out of that bathtub. You want to make sure you have everything you need before you get started so you're not chasing a little naked baby around the house, especially one that might have a pee-pee accident on the floor. Put that baby in the bathtub before there's even any water in it. Let them start playing with their toys. Let them get ready. Just sit there in the dry tub so that it's not wet and they're not standing up and slipping around. I know this sounds like a lot of details, but trust me, if you can set up your station before you get started with bath time, it's going to go so much easier. I have a fun little thing I do with towels. I use 3 towels for a baby's bath time. 1 for me and 2 for you, little baby boo. Set up your towels outside of the bathtub. I have one all the way laid out on the floor for where the baby's going to lay down after they get out of the water so that I can dry the baby off laying down on that towel. I also have a second towel ready to put on top of the baby to get them cozy, dry their hair, cover them up, keep them warm so they don't start shivering. When I lift the baby out of the bathtub, I try to face them away from me and pull them out from under their arms. Remember, this is a slippery baby we're talking about. They're wet from the bath. Have a towel in your hands and just kind of put it under their armpits, lift them over the edge of the tub and right down by your feet on the ground on that towel that you've already laid out for them to lay on. And then the third towel is rolled up in a cushion so that I can sit on that towel, whether it be on the edge of the tub, the side and the center of the tub, or if it's on the floor for my knees. Make sure when you're drying off your baby, you get all those crevices and nooks and crannies. Babies have a lot of folds in their skin. This is where moisture can build up and they can get little rashes and sores and irritation. So make sure you're drying all those cute little fat baby rolls and all those little crevices and cracks so that they get really, really dry. This would be a good time to add baby lotion if you like to have lotion on your baby. If your baby has any skin conditions or eczema, now would be a good time to apply those medications, creams, and ointments. Make sure when you get that baby out of that tub, dry them off quickly so they don't get shivery and cold and jittery lips and blue because they're going to get grumpy. Dry them quickly, dry their hair gently so that their head isn't staying wet for too long, move swiftly so that they can get dressed and get on with their playing. I don't find it necessary to blow dry a baby or toddler's hair, unless their hair is just really unruly and crazy. But even then, I would probably rather use a leave-in spray conditioner made for babies. Just use a towel or a small cloth to just ruffle their hair a little bit and dry it and let it air dry. You can brush it and comb it, but using a hot, loud blow dryer on your baby's head is just unnecessary. You could burn them, you could dry their hair out, you could hurt their ears. Babies' ears are so sensitive. So skip the hairdryer altogether. Just do it by hand. Dry it with your towels or a rag and let it air dry the rest of the way. You should be fine. Have fun with that baby's bath time. It's a habit that they're learning very young, and they're going to be doing it for the rest of their life. So make it a positive experience and give them those positive associations with baby bath time. You can do this, mommies, with a little bit of patience, some compassion, and a lot of love. I'm Miss Jen. Thanks for joining Nanny Knowledge with Miss Jen. Please leave some comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Some thumbs up are always nice, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. I invite you to scribble. They do now. I'm Miss Jen. Ow. That I'd like a lot of babies. No, when you're bathing a newborn, when I'm babying, I try to have that. What was I gonna say? A baby standing up in a bathtub. Now would be a good time to apply those medications, creams, ointments. Now would be a good time to apply those creams, ointments. Just don't eat it. Some mommies prefer that their bath time is fun. Thanks for watching, everyone. This is the end of part 1. The link to part 2 is down below in the description. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Thanks again.